like to, do you have any other people that you might talk to, colleagues at different places that...
David Phelps' career is about to be over at 55. The legendary tenor has finally confirmed the rumors that have followed him for years, leaving fans and the gospel music world in shock. But why now? And what exactly did he reveal that has people talking? For decades, Phelps's soaring vocals and heartfelt performances made him a beloved figure in Christian music. However, behind the scenes, whispers of controversy never seemed to fade. Now, for the first time, he's breaking his silence, addressing the speculation that has shadowed his career. The truth he just revealed is bigger than anyone expected, and the fallout could change everything. Stay tuned, because what happens next might just rewrite his entire legacy. Rumors of David Phelps leaving his career amid scandal have left fans surprised and confused. Over the past few weeks, whispers started quietly but quickly spread, making people wonder what could possibly drive such a respected gospel singer to walk away. David has always been someone fans could rely on. His incredible voice and heartfelt songs touched thousands, making him one of gospel music's most loved and respected artists. So naturally, when talk about him leaving started circulating, people couldn't help but feel shocked and concerned. At first, many assumed it might just be the usual celebrity gossip. Maybe David was just exhausted or feeling overwhelmed by the pressure. After all, being in the spotlight isn't easy, especially in gospel music, where personal values and public image mean so much. But as days went by, the rumors didn't fade. Instead, they intensified. Music executives started having hushed conversations behind closed doors, and even some of David's closest colleagues seemed uneasy whenever his name came up. Everyone could sense something was off, though no one would openly say exactly what. Fans started asking questions online, speculating on social media, and digging through every little clue they could find. Was David struggling with financial issues? Maybe he faced unexpected debts or problems with his record label. Others thought it could be health-related. Maybe he was secretly sick or exhausted from constantly touring. These guesses made sense to some, but many believed there was something deeper going on, something personal David might not be ready to share publicly. Then darker theories started popping up. People began whispering about a possible scandal, that David might be trying to hide something so serious it could ruin his reputation forever. These suggestions shocked his fans, who refused to believe their favorite gospel singer could be involved in anything troubling or scandalous. Still, curiosity grew, especially since David remained noticeably silent, giving no answers and making no public appearances to clear things up. Social media exploded with speculation and debates. Some fans defended David fiercely, insisting he deserved privacy and understanding, while critics argued that if there was something serious going on, he owed an explanation to the public who had supported him for so long. Meanwhile, the silence from David himself only made things worse, allowing rumors to run wild. The longer he stayed quiet, the more serious the theories became. Amid all the gossip, a few sources hinted at something genuinely shocking, perhaps a personal revelation that would challenge David's carefully maintained image. Whatever the truth might be, the lack of official statements only added fuel to the fire, leaving everyone anxious and uncertain about David's future. Right now, fans are left hanging, desperately awaiting clarity. Will David Phelps really abandon his successful career, or will he finally step forward to put the rumors to rest? For now, all anyone can do is wait, speculate, and hope for the best while bracing for whatever truth might soon emerge. The scandal caught on camera, the kiss that shook gospel music, exploded suddenly, taking everyone completely by surprise. It started as an ordinary evening, just another David Phelps concert, the kind fans had experienced countless times before. The auditorium was packed with people who had come from all over to hear his incredible voice and feel uplifted by his inspirational music. They came for the songs, the faith-filled atmosphere, and that special feeling David always brought to the stage. No one had any idea the night would turn into something no one could have imagined. The performance itself was flawless. David delivered song after song with his usual passion, lifting the spirits of everyone in the room. But what happened next changed everything. After the concert ended, fans began leaving, still feeling inspired. A few people hung around, hoping to meet David, shake his hand, or maybe get an autograph. One fan, a young woman named Jenna, stood near the backstage entrance, filming the excitement with her smartphone. She wasn't expecting anything unusual, just hoping to capture some behind-the-scenes footage to share online. As she casually recorded the backstage area, chatting quietly with her friends, Jenna noticed something through an open doorway. Curious, she aimed her camera at the scene unfolding just beyond the stage. At first, it seemed innocent enough, David talking to someone she didn't recognize. She zoomed in slightly, expecting just to catch a casual moment between friends or coworkers. But then, the two men moved closer together, and before Jenna even realized what was happening, David leaned in and kissed the other man. Shocked, Jenna almost dropped her phone. Her first reaction was confusion. Surely, she hadn't seen that correctly. Was that really David Phelps? Could he really be kissing another man backstage at his own gospel concert? Her heart raced as she replayed the footage. There it was, clear and unmistakable. In a matter of seconds, Jenna had captured something that would shake not only David's reputation, but the entire gospel music community. Within hours, Jenna had posted the video online, and almost immediately, it exploded on social media. Fans, critics, journalists, everyone was watching and sharing the clip. The backlash was swift and intense. Many fans were shocked, expressing disbelief and disappointment. They couldn't reconcile the deeply religious, family-oriented image David had always presented with the intimate moment captured backstage. Others were simply confused, unsure what to think or feel about someone they admired and trusted for so many years. On Twitter and Instagram, debates quickly turned heated. Fans argued fiercely, some defending David and insisting the video might not be what it seemed, while others condemned him outright, feeling betrayed and angry. For many, this went far beyond simple gossip. It challenged their perception of someone they saw as a role model, someone who represented certain values and beliefs. As comments and discussions piled up, people started to question everything about David, his honesty, his faith, his public image, and even his past actions. Meanwhile, the media picked up on the controversy and ran with it. News outlets, both mainstream and gossip-oriented, plastered headlines everywhere. David Phelps caught in shocking scandal. Gospel legend rocked by backstage controversy, and other sensationalized titles appeared on front pages and websites. Television shows started discussing the incident, inviting experts, pastors, and commentators to weigh in, fueling the public's obsession with this unexpected story that soon forced David to respond publicly. He chose Instagram to post a heartfelt statement, clearly shaken by the events unfolding around him. In his message, David apologized sincerely, admitting he understood why fans were upset and confused. He explained that he had been struggling privately for a long time and that this moment, something deeply personal, had suddenly become public. He emphasized that, despite everything, his faith remained strong. However, David also admitted that he had failed his fans by not being honest sooner, saying, "I'm sorry for causing confusion and pain. This was not how I wanted my personal battles to become known." Despite the apology, the controversy didn't slow down, it intensified. Some fans accepted David's words with empathy, seeing him as human, flawed, and worthy of forgiveness. Others accused him of hypocrisy, furious that he had hidden something they considered significant from his audience. People debated passionately about whether personal struggles should affect their view of an artist whose music had touched so many lives. Did one private moment really undo years of inspirational work? David retreated into silence again, refusing interviews and further public appearances. His silence frustrated fans and critics alike, as speculation filled the void left by his absence. Some fans suggested the video might have been misunderstood, taken out of context, or even deliberately set up to hurt his reputation. Others considered the possibility that the man in the video wasn't David at all. Perhaps someone who looked similar, or even a cleverly created fake video meant to damage his career. Yet, despite doubts and theories, the video itself seemed convincing enough to the majority of those who saw it. For every person defending David, another was convinced this incident revealed a hidden truth about the beloved singer, a truth he had carefully hidden from everyone. Churches and religious groups struggled with how to respond. Some publicly distanced themselves from David, quickly canceling future appearances. Others urged compassion and understanding, reminding people of the importance of forgiveness and grace. Meanwhile, those close to David felt trapped between loyalty and confusion. People who knew him personally spoke anonymously to reporters, describing him as deeply upset and devastated by how quickly his life had unraveled. Some mentioned they had known David was struggling privately, but no one imagined it would become so public, so dramatically, and so quickly. Friends said he seemed lost, uncertain about what to do next. Behind closed doors, discussions were tense, emotional, and uncertain. No one knew if David would decide to fight to rebuild his image or simply disappear, taking a step back from everything to figure out his life privately. Fans grew increasingly divided. Many refused to give up on him, arguing that his music and kindness mattered far more than any scandal. Others felt too hurt or betrayed, finding it difficult to listen to his songs without feeling confusion or anger. David had become more than just a singer to many people. He was a symbol of faith, integrity, and strength. Now, that symbol was suddenly complicated, filled with doubt and unanswered questions. Amid this chaos, David's future became the biggest question mark of all. Would he leave gospel music entirely, deciding it was too hard to recover his reputation? Or would he bravely face the controversy head-on, trying to rebuild trust piece by piece? Whatever choice he made, one thing was certain: his life, his career, and the image he'd worked so hard to build would never be the same. For David Phelps, the controversy marked the end of an era and possibly the beginning of something entirely new. Though what exactly that might be remained a mystery to everyone, including David himself. Fact or fiction? Separating the truth from gossip. When the video surfaced showing David Phelps kissing another man backstage, it instantly threw everything into chaos. Suddenly, fans found themselves trying to figure out what was real and what wasn't. Was the footage genuine, or was someone trying to sabotage his career? It didn't take long for questions and theories to flood social media. People were confused, emotional, and desperate for answers. In moments like these, separating truth from gossip can feel nearly impossible. Almost immediately after the video appeared online, some fans started doubting its authenticity. David Phelps had spent decades building a reputation as an honest, genuine, and faithful person. The idea that he could suddenly be involved in a scandal like this seemed unbelievable. How could the same person who inspired millions through his songs and spiritual messages suddenly find himself in such a troubling situation? Something felt off, and loyal fans wanted to believe that this wasn't real. Many quickly pointed out inconsistencies in the video, claiming the lighting was strange or that the angle seemed suspiciously perfect. Others suggested the person in the footage might not even be David himself, maybe just someone who looked similar. The theory that the video was a deep fake quickly took root. Online communities began dissecting the clip frame by frame. Amateur video analysts jumped into action, slowing the footage down, zooming in, and looking carefully for signs of digital manipulation. Discussions turned heated as some fans insisted they could spot obvious clues indicating tampering. Others dismissed this idea, arguing that the video looked too realistic and convincing. Arguments quickly grew heated, with both sides fiercely defending their positions. Amidst the confusion, some questioned why anyone would even try to fake something like this. What would they possibly gain by targeting someone as respected as David Phelps? As the debate continued, professional video experts weighed in. Some analyzed the clip publicly, pointing out details like unusual shadows, odd movements, or subtle glitches that could indicate digital manipulation. They explained how deepfake technology had become incredibly advanced, making it easier than ever to convincingly fake someone's actions. These analyses provided hope to many fans desperate to believe the video wasn't genuine. But even as professionals debated publicly, nothing definitive emerged. No one could say for sure if the video was real or fake. This uncertainty only added to everyone's confusion and frustration. Supporters of David argued passionately that the scandal was unfairly overshadowing his entire career. For years, David had inspired millions with his incredible vocal talent, deeply emotional performances, and sincere messages of faith and hope. His music had touched countless lives, helping people through difficult times and uplifting communities worldwide. Fans recalled personal stories of how his songs had comforted them during dark moments, reminding each other of David's kindness and authenticity. They felt angry that one questionable video could threaten to erase all the good he had done. Yet, not everyone shared this sentiment. Critics quickly pointed out that public figures, especially those within gospel music, are held to higher standards. They argued that if the footage turned out to be real, David had to address it openly and honestly. To them, hiding or remaining silent only made things worse, implying guilt or dishonesty. They believed David owed his fans transparency, given how deeply invested they were in his music and personal message. Others felt betrayed, struggling to reconcile their image of him as a symbol of faith and integrity with the scandal unfolding around him. David's heartfelt apology, posted shortly after the video surfaced, initially seemed like proof that something had indeed happened. However, fans began dissecting his words carefully. Some pointed out that while he expressed regret and acknowledged personal struggles, he never directly confirmed the incident was real. This led many to believe his apology was carefully crafted, not necessarily admitting guilt, but instead trying to calm the chaos while still leaving room for doubt. His careful choice of words sparked even more debate. Was he genuinely apologizing for the incident itself, or just for the confusion and pain caused by the video? The ambiguity only deepened the divide between those who believed David was innocent and those convinced he'd done something he shouldn't have. Conversations shifted toward broader questions. Should personal mistakes overshadow someone's professional accomplishments? If the video was real, did that erase decades of inspirational music and genuine connections with fans? Some argued fiercely that everyone deserves forgiveness, pointing out David's years of positive influence. Others felt betrayed and struggled to see past the scandal, feeling he'd violated their trust in a fundamental way. Amid the debates, friends and colleagues of David were bombarded with questions from fans and the media. Many were deeply uncomfortable, unsure how to respond. Some avoided the topic entirely, choosing silence over risking saying the wrong thing. Others tried to defend David indirectly, highlighting his generosity, kindness, and genuine faithfulness they'd witnessed firsthand over the years. Yet, even their support couldn't fully silence doubts or end the controversy. Without clear answers, speculation only grew more intense, leaving everyone emotionally drained and uncertain. Then came whispers from within the gospel music industry itself. Some insiders anonymously suggested the incident was intentionally set up, perhaps by rivals jealous of David's success or individuals unhappy with him personally or professionally. Others hinted the issue might be part of a larger campaign to tarnish his reputation. Gossip blogs and tabloids seized on these theories, fueling even more speculation and muddying the waters even further. Now, the scandal took on a different tone. Maybe this wasn't just about one personal mistake, but instead part of something bigger, perhaps involving jealousy, competition, or deeper tensions behind the scenes in gospel music. Meanwhile, David continued his silence, neither defending himself nor offering further explanations. His quietness confused many and frustrated others. Fans desperately pleaded online, asking him to speak clearly to end the gossip once and for all. Yet, the longer he stayed silent, the louder theories became. Some suggested his silence meant guilt, while others argued he was wisely avoiding fueling further arguments. But to his fans, the silence felt painful, creating distance between him and those who had loved him for years. As time passed, the question of truth versus gossip became harder and harder to answer. The scandal had spiraled into something far larger than the original video. It had become about trust, loyalty, and integrity, not only David's but also of everyone who believed in him. Without clear evidence, fans found themselves divided. Some stood firmly behind David, choosing to believe the best of him no matter what surfaced, arguing everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt. Others became increasingly skeptical, feeling that something about the whole situation felt off. In their minds, David owed fans more than just silence or ambiguous statements. They needed clarity. As the debate dragged on, even neutral observers struggled to know what to believe. Everyone had strong opinions, but nobody seemed to have definite proof. Some argued passionately that David was a victim of unfair gossip, targeted unfairly due to his fame and influence. Others felt the scandal was too serious to dismiss lightly, believing he needed to address it directly no matter how uncomfortable that might be. And so, confusion persisted, leaving everyone unsure about what to think or feel. For fans of David Phelps, it felt like standing on shaky ground. On one hand, they desperately wanted to trust in his character and legacy. On the other hand, they couldn't completely ignore what they'd seen with their own eyes, even if doubt remained. David's silence only added to the confusion, leaving them feeling stuck between loyalty and uncertainty, faith and doubt. Ultimately, the difference between fact and fiction had blurred completely. People wanted clarity, but instead, they got more questions. As the controversy continued, one thing was obvious. Whether true or false, the scandal had already done its damage. David Phelps, the beloved gospel icon, now faced a challenge unlike anything he'd experienced before. Fans could only wait and hope that one day soon, the real truth would finally come out, whatever it might be. Until then, the debate between truth and gossip continued, leaving everyone wondering just what had truly happened behind the scenes. Watch next, theories about Phelps' future. Now that the scandal had fully erupted and everyone had shared their opinions, one major question lingered on everyone's mind. What happens next for David Phelps? The uncertainty had fans anxious, critics curious, and insiders speculating endlessly. People couldn't help but wonder if David's remarkable career could survive this storm. Would he decide to stay, fighting through criticism and working hard to regain trust? Or would he quietly disappear from the spotlight, stepping away to live a more private life far from the intense public scrutiny? Fans who still believed strongly in David felt certain he wouldn't give up. After all, he was known for his strength and resilience. They imagined him returning stronger than ever, bravely addressing the scandal head-on, and eventually winning back the hearts and trust of those who had been hurt or disappointed. Supporters pictured him organizing heartfelt interviews, speaking openly about his experiences, struggles, and what he'd learned. In their minds, David's honesty and courage would ultimately remind everyone why they'd admired him in the first place. Perhaps he'd even use the experience to help others facing similar struggles, turning personal pain into a powerful message of forgiveness and understanding.